Hello, welcome back to Sky Sports FC. Now, is the experience of Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck exactly what Chelsea need to put together a title challenge? Henderson is officially a Chelsea player after they signed him on a 2-year deal. He joins in a free transfer after mutually agreeing to leave Brentford. He's 36 years old, 91 England caps, and he says it's an opportunity that he couldn't turn down. And his new Chelsea teammates are in Hong Kong. Callum Mudryk has arrived and is free to return to football after his anti-doping proceedings were resolved. Danny Welbeck has also joined the squad after completing his move from Brighton. Right, Charlie, before we get on to the size of Chelsea's squad, Henderson, Welbeck, Valentin Barco, Maxence Lacroix, they've all come in under Alonso. There's other new signings, but they were done before Alonso came in. Did those four make Chelsea better?
Say yes, better in different ways. Because I think going on the two experienced lads that have been signed, Welbeck and Jordan Henderson, Xabi Alonso's obviously looked in at the squad, looked in the change room, and he's looked back on his time at Real Madrid and thought, look what happened at the dressing room when they controlled everything and it wasn't right and they went to the owners. And you can only got to look at Chelsea a certain way and be, do you know what, if this goes wrong, they're going to go to the owners again and get me out. But I just feel that he's got Jordan Henderson, Danny Welbeck to come in and they can control the dressing room and run the dressing room, bring standards up higher and not let standards slip. And that's why I think they've gone to them. So overall, off the field, yes, it makes them better, but predominantly on the pitch, I reckon it will make them better. They have no excuses, no European football. I see everything now where it goes to the point of Xabi Alonso. If he can get his style of play across to the players, which I think he will, Chelsea can. They've got a good run at the top four.
And Welbeck and Henderson have won lots of trophies as well. In terms of game time, how much do you expect Henderson to play?
Well, I expect Caicedo and Fernandes to play a lot.
And Morgan Rogers at 10.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers in the 10. Now, do I see Jordan Henderson coming out and seeing out games? There's 38 Premier League games. We know how tough the Premier League is. That he will make starts. Do I see him playing 50% of the games? I'm going to go out and say yes, because there's clearly more to Jordan Henderson than just the off-the-field stuff, because he's proven that time and time again. So we can all talk about how good his leadership skills is, how good he controls the dressing room, but also, he's a top player.
Is Welbeck going to be first-choice striker? I'm going to get on in more detail of strikers in a moment. Is he first-choice striker?
Over João Pedro?
João Pedro, Nicholas Jackson, Liam Delap,
His head-to-head battle is with João Pedro. I can see Nicholas Jackson not being there, and ultimately the Liam Delap one, it just hasn't worked out. So, no, it hasn't worked out. You can say and go on about time. It hasn't worked out. Liam Delap at Chelsea hasn't worked out. The move was too big. It should have been a middle move and then to Chelsea if that was coming. I got to score 12 goals, whatever it was for Ipswich, and then move to Chelsea. If Chelsea are trying to go in a direction that they need to do, Liam Delap is not taking you in that right way. So for me, Danny Welbeck's competition is against João Pedro, and I expect Danny Welbeck to play plenty of the games, if I'm honest.
Can Delap get better working with Welbeck?
Yes, because he can learn from him. But the issue you have is you want to play. As a centre forward, you want to play, and you can get better.
Welbeck goals against Chelsea.
Yeah, but you can get better. You can get better by learning from people. You can get better from on the training pitch. But ultimately, proof's in the pudding when you come on the pitch, and when you see that ball hit the back of the net, that's when you know when you're improving.
So, well, let's stay on the strikers then, as we're talking about them now. So Welbeck's there, Nicholas Jackson's back, Emmanuel Emega's a new player who comes in from Strasbourg, João Pedro there that you've mentioned, Liam Delap as well. Who would you sell? Emega's
Who would you
new.
sell? Well, it'd be easy to say who would you keep.
Well, Emega's... So you'd keep... Well, go on then.
Emega, because he's just obviously come in.
But he could go back on loan.
Yeah, he could do, but you don't really know what's going to happen with him. You don't know if he's going to suit the Premier League or his style of play with Xabi Alonso and all that kind of stuff. Welbeck, definitely Premier League proven. João Pedro. Liam Delap, Nicholas Jackson's either near or there.
So...
They haven't got European football, Tom. They haven't. This is the issue. They don't need a squad the size they've got it. They really don't. They've got 46 players. For what reason? So you could almost go down the players you want to keep more than what you'd want to sell.
Yeah.
You could, couldn't you? Like, let's be honest.
The squad size is actually
massive.
Yeah, it is. We think it's 46 players.
Could be 56.
All right, it's big. How do you get rid of so many? Because yesterday I said to Jay Bothroyd, right, name the players that you would sell. We would have been here all day because there were so many.
Yeah.
But a big one that he said, which really caught my eye and the viewers as well, the first one he said was Enzo Fernandez. But you've just said he'd start.
Yeah, he would start because
it's just for financial.
Yeah, because you arguably you need 105 million back. I think you'll get it, looking at the prices that people have gone for. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did move on. Listen, there was no hiding behind it. He thought he was going Real Madrid before the World Cup started. Like there's all talks about, couldn't he go to Real Madrid? Is he the person that's going to go there? That didn't materialise. He'd be one of them that could attract attention from elsewhere. I don't think it will. But I would think about if Chelsea could move him on, I don't think they would put up too much of a fight. However, looking at Chelsea, and one positive you can take from it, I know we're only just getting into August now. There's no talk about there being this separate squad or there's 20 players that they want to move on. They've actually kept that in-house. Remember last year, was it the year before? There was pictures of players in dressing rooms training at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, X, Y and Z.
Oh, Raheem Sterling was one of them, wasn't he?
This is what I'm saying. But this time they've kept everything in-house. So I see that as a positive for Chelsea and learning from their mistakes.
And if, admittedly, of these 46 players, some of them are youngsters who can go out on loan. That's different. But you mentioned Enzo Fernandez for financial reasons. Can you think straight away of which players could go permanently?
Nicholas Jackson, another one that's not worked out. I'll go at the top end of the pitch. Nicholas Jackson.
There's 9 centre-backs, by the way, and he says he wants 4/5.
Yeah, but he's got 9 centre-backs. He's just signed Lacroix from Crystal Palace, who is going to play.
Yes.
Levi Colwell's coming back from injury. He's going to play. So you've got you could pick a handful. Axel Diassi's still there.
He's back from West Ham, yes.
Yeah, he's still there. Like if Chelsea could move him on, 100% they would. Badiashile, would they move him on? Absolutely. What I'm surprised about is the goalkeeper scenario.
It looks like Chalobah will go as well.
And Chalobah will go. But so there is a handful. But I'm surprised about the goalkeeper scenario. How many times have we been on the show, we talked about the goalkeeper? How many times Chelsea fan come on and you see it online where they're moaning about the goalkeeper? That's where I'm quite surprised. This is now, 2 years in that they haven't gone and got a statement goalkeeper. Now, we can say they tried that with Kepa, didn't work out. Tried it with Mendy, then he left. I just always think about that solid Chelsea team under Mourinho. They have Petr Cech in goal.
Cech, Kudicini as well.
Yeah, mountains in that goal. So that's one thing that does surprise me on Chelsea in this scenario. Maybe that will come later in the window, who knows?
Right, so another thing that Chelsea fans were saying all of last season, and football fans in general, because it was obvious, is that Chelsea lacked experience. We've just mentioned that they've now added serious experience in the 2 men behind us, in Welbeck and Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
If you're a young player in that dressing room and those 2 players come in, how does that help you? How does that help the team?
I'll tell you one thing, what you don't do, and it put you straight on the back foot, is you start thinking that's going to block my pathway into the first team and block my pathway into the starting 11. Get that right out of your head. Because if you're thinking that, or you're being told that by powers that be or your agents, etc., that don't work. These players have been there and done it. They're England internationals. They've played countless games in the Premier League. They are going to help you get to the position that you need to be, whether that is at Chelsea or at another club. So it's watching these 2 players every day and how they look after themselves on and off the pitch, and then how they perform on match day.
So by adding those 2, Henderson and Welbeck, Chelsea's average age goes from 23, it's gone up to just above 26. Arsenal won the title last season. Do you know what their average age was?
Go on.
26.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's, when they last won the title, was 2017. Their average age was 27. So, can Chelsea win the league?
So we're just throwing stats out there now, and we're just going. It's however you want to look at stats, like we always say before. Aren't we? That's brilliant. So if you have everyone's going to go through their...
It's one stat.
No.
It's not XG, which I know you famously love.
Yeah, exactly, which I don't. But what I'm saying is it's just another stat. So every director of football, chairman's going to go through their age and make, we need 26, 27. That pretty much gives us another tick in the box to win the Premier League.
Makes sense, though, because is that not your peak?
It's fine, right? But what I'm saying is what they are going to do is make Chelsea stronger on and off the pitch. How many times do you hear about Jordan Henderson being this kind of person that takes the dressing room to a different place and controls the dressing room? And that's clearly what Xabi Alonso expects from him, as well as his quality on the pitch. Danny Welbeck, he was unlucky not to go to the World Cup, by the way. But let's not forget how well and a good of a job that he done at Brighton. Like, he's been phenomenal. He really has. For Brighton, it was an unbelievable signing. Now they've let him go. It'll be a tough one to replace.
Do you know what else is interesting about Chelsea's title win in 2017?
I do, but I'm going to let you say it.
No, go on.
No.
Go on, I'm asking you a quiz question. You get the answer. Makes you look good.
They didn't have European football, did they?
Correct. So how important is that? Because they don't have it this year.
Yeah, it is very important. That is very important, but it's how you adapt, because you only play Saturday, you don't have the midweek games, etc. So that'll be the interesting one. But also, they did have N'Golo Kante, who covered every blade of grass in there also, right? But I think that is important. They need to get off to a good start, because, as we full well know in football, managers' jobs are not for long, because everyone gets their back up, fans get their back up. So it's a results business. But his biggest challenge, Xabi Alonso, is getting his style of play across to his players and trimming down that squad, because that's no good for anybody. There's no players there that don't want to play football, Tom, but they would also know in the back of their mind, I ain't really part of this team.
We got cut off there when you were talking about, we got sidetracked when you were talking about a new goalkeeper. Is that something that you would be targeting? For
Chelsea, yeah. Because you think predominantly, we've been talking about for months, years, Sanchez is not good enough. Sanchez can't do this, he can't play with his feet, can't do this, that and the other. Oh, look at the mistakes he made here. So that is pivotal position on that pitch. If you don't concede goals, you're going to lose. So I just think that is such an important place. You look at all the best teams over the years, the goalkeepers they've had, and I'm not sure Sanchez is the one to take Chelsea to the next level.
Right, well, loads of people getting in touch about the situation at Chelsea. Dave says 4 strikers at Chelsea is ridiculous with no European football. So Sel, Delap and Jack. Well, it's 5 strikers because there's Omega as well. But you said Sel, Delap and Jackson, so I guess you're agreeing there with Dave.
Yep.
Keeping João Pedro and, of course, Danny Welbeck. And then there's Omega as well. Morgan says, so many players, so few chances. I don't know why they keep signing so many players when they are just going to bench people. But with a squad that big, and you can only name 25, OK, it's a bit different, because if you're on 21, you can be in there as well. But it does look like at some stage they're going to have to turn their attention to selling.
Yeah, of course you are. But then it becomes an even bigger issue on top of that, because why are players going to go when they've got 2 or 3 years left on their deal? They're earning big money. Some clubs, they might not be able to take them because of the on loan, because they can't cover the wages. And then players are not taking pay cuts. It's just a short career. That's where it's at. Football clubs got to stand on it. If they decide to pay the money and to buy them, and now a year later, 8 months down the line, they don't want them anymore, then they've got to make an easy decision for them and help them go on loan. However, 46 players in there, as we counted to say, 10, 15, maybe even 20 of them will know that they're not going to play a part in Chelsea's Premier League stint next year.
Max has been in touch as well. Chelsea have taken a lot of young players from smaller clubs. However, they are not used enough. I think they should sell or loan some of the younger players as they need game time. Well, it makes sense for some of the younger players on loan who they think will be good enough in the future. But
they've got 30 players on loan, Tom.
There must be players who they think are not good enough, full stop.
They've got 30 players on loan, Neron. Remember the list that come? They used to send them all over to Holland and places.
Strasbourg as well.
Yeah, and send them everywhere, right? The issue you've got is, you can say, oh, we bought a load of young players from smaller clubs. What, within the Premier League? Chelsea are meant to be one of the big 6, etc., as everyone talks about. They go and get the elite players. I don't see that at the moment from Chelsea. I really don't.
Right, what's going to be a successful season for Chelsea? In Alonso's first season in charge, what does he need to do?
He needs to be in the top 6.
Top 6?
Tom, he hasn't got European football.
Yeah, well, I was thinking higher.
Yeah, but you're going to look at the fee there. Top 6 is a bare minimum. Top 4 is an absolute is a bonus and a pat on the back. That is it. Because you say top 4,
trophies at Chelsea.
They are used to, but that's not stopping him from winning the FA Cup or the League Cup.
Yeah, well that.
No, but as a trophy one, because
yes.
that's only the ones that he can ultimately win, right? But I just feel the most important thing for him is getting his method across and what he wants to do, and getting in that top 6, top 4, however you want to look at it. Premier League's tough. And this is where Manchester United are going to be, where they're going to see what happens, because now the roles are reversing. Chelsea don't have European football, Manchester United do.
Yeah. All right, let's take a